Hey guys, what's up? Another video update, this time 14 and a half weeks out training legs. So got up to 360 for 12 on the hack squat today. Like I've said before, there's no other exercise that I would pick if I'm trying to develop my upper quads like a hack squat. And the way I do them is I try to keep my feet about probably about 14 inches apart. My back is totally neutral through the entire set. I'm not just trying to go till I'm at parallel. I'm trying to get my hamstrings to touch my calves here on every single rep. Good control. Try to keep the same tempo. I mean, it was warm in that gym today for sure, so a little bit of a pause at the top on reps 11 and 12, but it didn't take anything away from the set. Still a great set. And then moved on to the barbell jump squat, which is the second half of the three supersets I do. Got up to 245 here on this set. So obviously you're working your quads and your hamstrings here, but also calves with the jump. Try to have my feet about maybe 16 inches apart here. Squat until my upper thighs again are below my knee, so far below parallel. Try to keep a continuous motion. With 245 pounds, it's quite hard to get off the ground, but what you're trying to do anyways is just get as high as you can safely and comfortably anyways, which is only a few inches off the ground whenever you're weighing 165-ish and you got 245 on your back anyways. So all three sets of seated hamstring curls this session were 152.5. I got one more session for legs. And we'll just jump the top set up by the last set by 2.5 pounds. As I said before, again, if I'm looking to add mass onto my hamstrings, this is the movement that I would pick. I would not pick a lying hamstring curl. I wouldn't even pick my favorite hamstring exercise, which is a barbell stiff leg deadlift. It would be a seated hamstring curl. Nothing better for the biceps femoris. To get that nice round look out of your hamstring. This is the back half of that superset, just the lying exercise ball curl. You can start to see some pretty good detail through the tights now. Obviously at 14 weeks out, there's still a lot of time, but there's also still a lot of fat that does need to come out, need to come off. So like this morning, I woke up at, I believe, 166.8, which means I have less than 13 pounds that I need to lose for the lightweight limit. Right now, for whatever reason, fat is just falling off me. Anyone that's done this before knows you go through periods where it's like every day you're making definite progress. But then there's also periods where you'll go 2 or 3 weeks and you really don't notice anything. Your weight's not dropping. It could be that you're not maintaining your strength in the gym, or you're not gaining strength in the gym. For whatever reason it is right now, it's just fallen off me. So originally I was talking to one of my friends and fellow bodybuilders, my friend Leroy, and I was telling him that hopefully by this weekend I would get into the 166s, and that was just a few days ago, and I was waking up in low 168, and it's fallen off me. I'm not doing anything different. Like I said in my last video, like I'm still putting, it's extremely low calorie sauce, but I'm putting it on all my meals. I'm having a 10 calorie energy drink before I do my afternoon cardio. I don't know what it is, but the weight's just coming off me. And it seems to be in a good way. I'm holding on my muscle. I'm at this point where, because the weight is coming off me so quickly, I'm taking pictures pretty much every day just to make sure that I'm not losing any sort of muscle. I mean, obviously with an aggressive skip load type of refeed technique that you're employing, whenever you're going on lower carbohydrates and lower calories in general, but especially when your only other I'm not using fats really in my diet. I get about 45 grams of fat a day. So I'm going to be going flat. I'm going to be depleting myself of glycogen. But because I've done this before, and because I've always been so totally self-coached, I know the sort of warning signs for going flat versus losing muscle. So The first place where I'm going to notice I'm going flat, which isn't going to be harmful or indicative of me losing muscle, is going to be outer quad development. After that, it's upper chest and medial deltoid. And both of them are actually staying, well, they're not, it's over the last few days, it's been a little bit of a decrease, but that's also, it could be just superficial because of all the water they had from the skip load. But anyways, I digress. Top set of the barbell walking lunges there. Did 135 for 12 each leg. And just another pointer on the barbell walking lunges. What I'm trying to do there is I'm trying to keep my head up and my back neutral through that entire movement, and my feet about 14 inches apart. But my steps, although they're not short, I'm not trying to make it a glute movement. So as I've said before, I'm trying to drop my back knee just behind my front heel. Anyways, on to the barbell stiff leg deadlifts here. I taped 2 sets. This one here is 330 for 10, and then this is the big set, 335 for 10. So had to unlock a couple thoughts in my head here for this set, and you'll see that. But like I said earlier, this is my favorite hamstring exercise. So obviously you're working your glutes, you're working your hamstrings, your lower back, and even your quads to a certain extent. I try to only have my feet about 8 inches apart here. Try to keep my legs straight, my back neutral, my head up, and even my elbows locked is something actually that I cue myself for. And then it's all hip action. It's all pushing my hips back, pulling them right into that bar. It's hip extension, hip flexion. It should never start with knee flexion. So quads, hamstring, glutes are all done. Now it's on to calves. So soleus and gastroc here, your main calf muscles. Just trying to lower this weight to the lowest possible comfortable position. It's not putting too much tension on my Achilles tendon. And then rise up on my toes as high as possible. Hold it just momentarily. Top set there was 180 for 8. And then on to the Smith calf raises. So I have the bar on my upper back. I'm just trying to stand on the, I got a wooden block underneath me with the balls of my feet on the edge of that. Back straight, legs are actually locked here. I'm not trying to let my hips move forward and backwards, trying to keep them straight up, straight down. And then, yeah, again, just raise up on those toes as high as possible, hold it for just a little bit, and get back down there, start another rep. Nothing about, like, I'm not trying to turn my toes outwards or inwards on these. I'm not trying to hit a different aspect of the calf. Like, your body works most efficiently in straight lines. So keep my toes completely straight here. I'm making sure that my heels get at least to parallel. And yeah, so top set here was 240 for the last 2 sets of 11. After those 2 movements for calves, it's time for some abs. 5 sets of 15 for sit-ups. Nothing too fancy here, just hands behind my head, chin on my chest. Trying to lie back until my lower back touches. Inhale at the bottom, exhale at the top. Yeah, it's just something that, you know, whenever, especially when prep time kicks around. I think my abdominals will be better this year than any previous year, just because I kept up with it for several months leading up to this prep in my off season as well. So anyways, that one there kind of, in my mind, takes care of my upper abdominals. Here we go with the oblique crunches. Obviously hit my hip flexors and the obliques. Again, what we're doing is 5 sets of 15 for each side. After these oblique crunches, it's lying leg raises, 5 sets of 15. So maybe because you're working from a different angle, obviously from toes to hips here, lower abdominals. And then I just finish up with 5 1-minute planks. But everything is moving pretty well. Like, as you can see, this is definitely not what you would call a 14-week out condition. Anyone that knows me or has seen me prep before or follows me knows that I like to kind of be ahead of the curve. I want to, if something does come up, if the show is postponed again, whatever it is, I want to be in a better position for this. for that sort of situation to arise. Also, I haven't been show lean in what will be 2 years at that point, or a little bit over 2 years. So, you know, once you get to that nitty-gritty part where, I mean, for me, it's probably going to be in the low 160s where I'm grinding out, you know, 1/10 of a pound per day. Just, you know, it's Groundhog Day, keeping everything this exact same as it should be. I haven't been there in a while, and I plan on giving myself a little bit of room for error, not obviously intentional error, not like I'm going to cheat on my diet or anything like that, but just so I can, you know, toe the course. And if anything does happen where I have to make changes, and if the show is postponed or is canceled, I have to find a different thing, then I'm in a better position for that sort of thing. So right now, 11 days from now is the next scheduled skip load, and there will be a pretty stark difference in my conditioning even from now until the next 11 days, but I'll also have gone flat and I'll have needed that glycogen replenishment. As of now, I'm totally locked in though. So as I mentioned before, there's only 7 foods on my normal diet throughout the day, and it is bland, but I'm just used to it by now. It's just robot mode. It's just, you know, that's how this thing goes. And if you can control that, you come out on top. But that's all for this one, guys. Until next time, stay safe, and whatever you're doing, good luck, have fun.